بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Now comes that ayah. I told you, this ayah says that actually this Haza Rabbi and Haza Rabbi and Haza Rabbi, it was only for sake of argument. Not that Ibrahim really believed in it. He was a prophet, and a prophet is innocent from the very birth. He could not ever have committed shirk. He could not have said to people that he could not believe in it. But he said to the people only an argument. وَتِلْكَ حُجَّتُنَا آتَيْنَاهَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ عَلَىٰ قَوْمِهِ. And this was our argument which we gave to Ibrahim against his nation. You need some methodology to convince the people how to approach their minds. You have to talk to them at their own level of consciousness. So he started with it. Okay, you believe in the star? Oh yes, it's shining. It's very high. Maybe it's just, possible that it is the Lord. But then when it said, oh, we are not going to love those who said. Step by step he took his nation or people to this level. Inni wajjahtu wajhiya lilladhi fatara as-samawati wal arda hanifa wa ma ana minal mushrikeen. So it was actually for the sake of argument. وَتِلْكَ حُجَّتُنَا آتَيْنَاهَا إِبْرَاهِيمَ عَلَىٰ قَوْمِهِ نَرْفَعُ دَرَجَاتٍ مَّن نَّشَاءُ. We raise in ranks whomsoever we like. Now Ibrahim, we raised to a very high rank. وَاتَّخَذَ اللَّهُ إِبْرَاهِيمَ خَلِيلًا. We have already read. إِنَّ رَبَّكَ حَكِيمٌ عَلِيمٌ. Verily, your Lord, your Rabb, is all-knowing, all-wise. وَوَهَبْنَا لَهُ إِسْحَاقَ وَيَعْقُوبَ. And we gave him, Ibrahim, a son like Ishaq and a grandson like Yaqub. Kullan hadayna. And all of them, we guided them to the right path. وَنُوحًا هَدَيْنَا مِنْ قَبْلِ. And we had given the guidance to Nuh before him. وَمِنْ ذُرِّيَّتِهِ. And from among his progeny, Dawood wa Sulaymana wa Ayyuba wa Yusufa wa Musa wa Harun. Among the progeny of Ibrahim, we raised Dawood and Sulaiman and Ayyub and Yusuf and Musa and Harun alayhimus salatu wassalam wa kazalika najzil muhsinin. And this is how we give reward to those people who do good, who worship Allah in the best of the ways, in the most earnest ways. As I explained, ihsan, the highest level, spiritual level. Islam, then iman, then ihsan. وَكَذَلِكَ نَجْزِي الْمُحْسِنِينَ. And this is how we recompense, we give the reward to those muhsineen. But Zakaria, and not only them, but Zakaria, wa Yahya, wa Isa, wa Ilyasa, kullu min as-salihin. Among his progeny, we raised Zakaria, and Yahya, and Isa, wa Ilyas, and all were from the righteous people. Wa Ismaila, wa Yasa, wa Yunus, wa Luta. As I told you, when we were reading Surah Nisa, at different intervals in Quran, we find these names of the prophets and messengers of Allah arranged as if flowers in a flower pot. So this is again another flower pot of the names of the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How many prophets named here? وَوَهَبْنَا لَهُ إِسْحَاقَ وَيَعْقُوبَ كُلًّا هَدَيْنَا وَنُوحًا هَدَيْنَا مِنْ قَبْلِ وَمِنْ ذُرِّيَّتِهِ دَاوُودَ وَسُلَيْمَانَ وَأَيُّوبَ وَيُوسُفَ وَمُوسَى وَهَارُونَ. 9 in 1. And if you add Ibrahim, then they become 10. Then Zakaria wa Yahya wa Isa wa Ilyas. Then Ismaila wa Yasa wa Yunus wa Luta wa kullan faddalna ala al-alameen. Now, it's about 12 names of the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمِنْ آبَائِهِمْ وَذُرِّيَّاتِهِمْ وَإِخْوَانِهِمْ. And each prophet had around him a circle of righteous people. If you are on the right path, you can hope that your progeny, your sons, maybe they are not prophets, but they will be on the right path. And this has been the rule of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Although there is possibility, someone may go wrong way. Out of 4 sons of Hazrat Nuh, one was, doomed. And he was drowned before his own eyes, before the eyes of the father. But 3 were with him on the right path. And it's very bad today. Many of great ulama and big religious leaders, we find that out of their sons, none is going the way they used to go. This is a bad sign. It is just possible. If you have 4 sons, one doesn't take to your path, 3 should come. We have examples. Israr Ahmad Sarhandi rahmatullahi alayh, he had 4, and all the 4 were on the same path as the father. In the same way, Shah Waliullah Dehlvi rahmatullahi alayh had 4 sons, and all the 4 were on that right path. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives them. So in the same way, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, around these prophets of Allah, there were their fathers, and their progeny, their sons and daughters, وَإِخْوَانِهِمْ, and their brothers, وَاتَّبَعْنَاهُمْ. We all chosen, all of them. We liked them. وَهَدَيْنَاهُمْ إِلَىٰ صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. And then we guided them to the straight path. ذَلِكَ هُدَى اللَّهِ يَهْدِي بِهِ مَن يَشَاءُ. This is the guidance of Allah. He guides with it whomsoever He likes min ibadihi, among His servants. وَلَوْ أَشْرَكُوا. Again a stern warning. Had any one of them committed shirk, لَحَبِطَ عَنْهُمْ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. All their good deeds would have gone in vain. As I told you, the biggest sum multiplied by 0 becomes 0. Shirk is the big 0. You are praying, you are keeping fast, you are performing Hajj, you are doing Umrah every year, you are doing this, you are doing that, but you are doing some form of shirk also. All thing multiplied 0 comes to 0. Now these are the people. وَلَوْ أَشْرَكُوا. Had they committed shirk. So how important it is to understand what is shirk. What are the different modes of shirk, different shapes of shirk, different forms of shirk. And I have a lecture on that, 2 hours lecture. To have an understanding, we must comprehend. This shirk changes forms. Sometimes it is in the form of idol worship. Sometimes it becomes in the form of popular sovereignty. This is the biggest shirk of our days. Sovereignty. Materialism. We have all the faith in matter. Not the least in Allah, who created the matter. All this faith on matter and material means. This is now the very few among the Hindus also go to temples to worship these idols. Very few of them. Very few of them. You know, this disease of shirk has changed forms. And you must know, you must be able to recognize what form this disease has taken in our time. Very important. وَلَوْ أَشْرَكُوا لَحَبِطَ عَنْهُمْ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. Had they committed shirk, all they had been doing good deeds would have come to a 0. Would have vanished and would have gone in vain. أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ آتَيْنَاهُمُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحُكْمَ وَالنُّبُوَّةَ. They are the people whom we gave the book. Now this is another word, hukm. We have been finding with book hikmah. Atainahul hikmah. But here hukm. Hukm means authority. Because from among them were the rulers also. Dawood, he was a king. Suleiman, he was a king. And most of the prophets of Bani Israel, they were actually the chiefs of their community. Kanat Banu Israel tasusuhumul anbiya. Kullama halaka nabiyyun khalafahu nabiyyun. So they are the people to whom we gave our book, and then the authority, and one nubuwwah, and the prophethood. فَإِن يَكْفُرْ بِهَا هَؤُلَاءِ. And if these people, who are these? هَؤُلَاءِ, O Muhammad, your nation, or those people who claim to believe in these prophets, if they are not evaluating these things as they should have done, and they are not grateful, and they are not accepting these things as they should have accepted, إِن يَكْفُرْ بِهَا هَؤُلَاءِ فَقَدْ وَكَّلْنَا بِهَا قَوْمًا لَيْسُوا بِهَا بِكَافِرِينَ. So we have assigned for this another nation who will not be unmindful, ungrateful for these. What does it mean? The people who believed in all these prophets, they were the Jews. They are now turning away their faces from this guidance. We have selected another nation. This nation is in the beginning. It is going to form. That is the Ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Because this surah is Makki. Actually, the declaration that now you have become a Ummah, that these ayat, they were revealed in Madani. Kuntum khayra ummatin. Now you have qualified that position. But up till this time, this Ummah was in the offing, as you call it. It was in offing. So we have designated this thing, this position, to another nation, and they will not be ungrateful. Ulaika alladhina hadallahu fabihudahu muqtadih. They are the people whom Allah had guided, all these prophets. So you also follow their guidance. Qul la as'alukum alayhi ajr. Say to them, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, I am not demanding from you any reward for what I am doing to you. I am conveying the message of Allah to you. Have I ever demanded from you any salary? Have I asked you for any contributions? قُلْ لَا أَسْأَلُكُمْ عَلَيْهِ أَجْرٍ. I don't ask you any reward for it. إِنْ هُوَ إِلَّا ذِكْرَى لِلْعَالَمِينَ. It is a reminding for all of the worlds. I am a reminder. أَنْتَ مُذَكِّرْ فَذَكِّرْ إِنَّمَا أَنْتَ مُذَكِّرْ لَسْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ بِمُسَيْطِرٍ. Go on reminding them. You are a reminder. وَمَا قَدَرُ اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ. And they do not value Allah as they ought to have valued Him. مَا قَدَرُ اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ. Our attitude and behavior depends upon the values which we assign to different things. How important it is to have a bigger house, although it might be on mortgage. But it's important to have a better house, big house. How important it is to have a bigger car. This is something value. And we are pursuing it. So everything, value structure that underlies our behavior. What values you have assigned to different things. Now, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala stands highest in your priorities, His pleasure is the most valuable thing. For that, I am ready to sacrifice anything. Then you are a true mu'min. Inna Allah ashtara minal mu'minina anfusahum wa amwalahum bi anna lahumul jannah. So actually these words appear in the Quran many times. Ma qadarullah haqqa qadri. And the basic reason of shirk is that man fails to evaluate Allah as he should have and as he ought to have evaluated Him. Ma qadarullah haqqa qadrihi. Is qalu ma anzalallahu ala basharin min shay. Now one example of this is, when they said Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala never sent down on any human being anything. You claim that Quran is being sent down to you from Allah. No, Allah has never sent down anything. And this actually was on the instigation of the Jews. Because till such time the news of the Prophet ﷺ had reached all the corners of the Arabian Peninsula. Now the Jews at Medina, they were perturbed. They were hoping that the last prophet will come from among them. Because for 2000 long years, it was their proprietorship, so to say, that all the prophets were coming in Bani Israel. Books were given to them. Torah, Zabur, Injil. So they were hoping that the last prophet also will be raised from among them. So they were perturbed. When they listened, the news were coming. There is a person in Mecca who claims to be prophet. So actually, they were trying to preempt. And in that they were trying to misguide the people of Mecca. No. Allah has never sent. Because maybe there's some people of Mecca, they have approached some of the learned people from among the Jews. What's your opinion? We have a man who says that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is sending down to him his book. Oh, no, nothing of the sort. Is qalu ma anzalallahu ala basharin min shay. Allah has never sent down anything on any human being. Qul man anzala al-kitab alladhi ja'a bihi Musa. In the same coin, reply in the same coin. Qul man anzala al-kitab alladhi ja'a bihi Musa. Who sent down the book which Musa brought? You claim that a book was brought by Musa alayhi salam. Who sent it down? If Allah has not sent down anything on any human being, who sent down the book which Musa brought? Nuram wa hudal linnas. It was a light and a guidance for humanity. Taj'alunahu qaratisa. You have put it in on different sheets, different parchments. Not one book like this, separately. So that whenever there is need, you show one part and you can hide the other part. Because in Quran also you have it. That there is one ayah, la taqrabu salata, wantum sukara. If you don't read wantum sukara, la taqrabu salah. Don't go near prayer, okay? I'm not praying. So in the same way, there can be so many things. If you hide one thing and you show only part of it, tubdunaha wa tukhfuna kasira. You take it out for the people, show it to the people, and also you are hiding much of it. Taj'alunahu qaratisa. You have turned it into parchments and separate sheets, and you hide much thereof. Some of it you show out. وَعُلِّمْتُمْ مَا لَمْ تَعْلَمُوا أَنْتُمْ وَلَا آبَاؤُكُمْ. And you were taught what your forefathers didn't knew. Torah came to you. And because before Torah, several hundred years passed, when they had no book, they were Bani Israel. They were the progeny of Hazrat Yaqub alayhi salatu wassalam. They were 12 tribes from the 12 sons of Yaqub alayhi salatu wassalam, but they had no book. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the first book that Allah sent down was Torah. Allah, say to them, Allah sent that Torah. But it implies the same Allah has sent Quran to me. ثُمَّ ذَرْهُمْ فِي خَوْضِهِمْ يَلْعَبُونَ. Then you just leave them alone, plunging into the vain discourses of theirs. Now don't enter into further argument. Leave them. وَهَذَا كِتَابٌ أَنزَلْنَاهُ مُبَارَكٌ مُصَدِّقُ الَّذِي بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ وَلِتُنذِرَ أُمَّ الْقُرَىٰ وَمَنْ حَوْلَهَا. And now this is the book that we have sent down. وَهَذَا مُبَارَكٌ. After Torah, this is the book. Actually, the book Al-Kitab is only Torah and Quran. Because in Zabur, there is no law. It's only Psalms, Hamd, songs of, hymns of Hamd, Psalms. In Injil, it is only Hikmah, no law. Because Hazrat Masih said, this law of Moses will remain applicable to you also. Don't think I have come to destroy law. So the law was law of Moses, and after that, law of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Shara'i, there are two. وَهَذَا كِتَابٌ أَنزَلْنَاهُ مُبَارَكٌ. After that book of law, now this book has been sent down. Mubarakun. What is Mubarak? Baraka means to bring out something which is inherent, some good, inherent in something, but it needs some stimulation. Ma'am Mubaraka, rain. It comes down on the earth. All the things are there in the earth. The seeds are lying there. All the vegetation potentiality is in the earth, not in the water. Water only initiates the process. So it brings out the treasures that are already hidden in the earth. In the same way, there is a treasure hidden in us. That is our soul, our spirit. So now, but this is lying dormant. Quran comes and activates it, brings it out. So Quran, Hada Kitabun Mubarakun, just as Ma'am Mubaraka, the water of rain falling on the land, on the earth, bringing out its treasures, its vegetation. In the same way, this Quran, it permeates into your souls, activates it, and brings out the good that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already put in it potentially. وَهَذَا كِتَابٌ أَنزَلْنَاهُ مُبَارَكٌ مُصَدِّقُ الَّذِي بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ. And this confirms that which was present before it. It confirms, as we have read in Surah Al-Ma'idah, إِنَّا أَنزَلْنَا التَّوْرَاةَ فِيهَا هُدًى وَنُورٌ. Again Injil, فِيهَا هُدًى وَنُورٌ. So Allah doesn't say that Torah was not given to Moses or the Bani Israel for that matter. Injil was nothing, never given to Jesus alayhi salatu wasalam. No, these were the books Allah sent down. وَهَذَا كِتَابٌ أَنزَلْنَاهُ مُبَارَكٌ مُصَدِّقُ الَّذِي بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ. وَلِتُنْذِرَ أُمَّ الْقُرَى وَمَنْ حَوْلَهَا. Very important. al-Qura, the mother of the towns. Qaryah is a town, a township. And Qura is the plural. al-Qura, the mother. What does it mean? In every country there is some central city controlling the whole of the country. That becomes the al-Qura for that particular land, for that particular country. The al-Qura in Arabia was Makkah. It was dominant, controlling the religious activity, so to say the political activity, the economic activity was all being controlled by Makkah. So al-Qura. But now this al-Qura has man hawlaha, and whosoever surrounds it. Now this, it can go to surround immediate surroundings, a few hundred miles round the city of Makkah. If you go, a circle is more wider, 1,000 miles long circle, then maybe the whole of the world can be included, ma hawlaha. Whole of the earth can be included in it. But to begin with, the Prophet ﷺ was only warning and conveying the message of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to people of Makkah. Then the surrounding people, the tribes which were living in the vicinity of Makkah. And then it was extending and progressing forward and forward. So these words can include everything. وَمَنْ حَوْلَهَا. Because any point on the earth can be said to be the center of the earth. Because it's something round. Any place is center of the earth. So actually, this is a very good explanation. لِتُنْزِلَ أُمَّ الْقُرَى وَمَنْ حَوْلَهَا. So that you warn the people who are dwelling in that mother of the towns in the Arabian Peninsula, also people who are dwelling around it. وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْآخِرَةِ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِهِ. Now this is very important. Quran tells that the most important iman is the iman bil-akhirah. Whosoever has some idea of resurrection, that I will have to return to my Lord, he will listen to you attentively. He will have some initial taqwa in his heart and mind and soul. And then if the dawah of the Prophet comes before him, he will accept it. So the words are, وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْآخِرَةِ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِهِ. Those who have some idea of Akhirah will believe in this book, Quran. Although they didn't know the prophethood, all the people of Makkah. Because this institution was known to the Bani Israel, to the Jews. They knew, they were the people of the book. They believed in so many prophets. But in the second, the line of progeny of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, from Ismail, after Ismail, there was no prophet till Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A very big gap. So they were not familiar with what a prophet is and what is the messengerhood of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But if they had any idea of Akhirah, then they will listen to it and they will believe in it. وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْآخِرَةِ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِهِ وَهُمْ عَلَىٰ صَلَاتِهِمْ يُحَافِظُونَ. And they protect and they keep a watch over their salah. This salah also continued among the progeny of Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam. They were circumambulating round the Kaaba. They were doing tawaf. They were doing hajj. Although they had added something wrong to these things. And they had changed the conditions. Bid'at, innovation. Now in this ummah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has protected this ummah. And He has been sending mujaddideen who renewed the original deen, all the original forms. And all these bid'at, innovations, they were cleared off. After every 100 years, in every century, people have been coming. Otherwise, the innovations and the bid'at, they might have reached to such a level that the real deen would have gone absolutely out of sight. And the same had happened there. We come to know that some African countries, they celebrate the day of the birth of the Prophet with music in the mosques. They are having music and they are celebrating the birthday of the Prophet ﷺ. But actually, because this is the last ummah, Ana akhirul rusul wa antum akhirul umam. The Prophet said, I am the last messenger and you are the last community, last ummah. So it had to be preserved. Otherwise things would have taken a very different form and shape. And that happened to the people of Ibrahim. These were the progeny of Ibrahim, living at Makkah and around it. But they believed in Ibrahim, and they said they were very proud of it, that we are the progeny of Ibrahim. But they had changed the deen of Ibrahim absolutely. But still some of the relics were there. وَهُمْ عَلَىٰ صَلَاتِهِمْ يُحَافِظُونَ. So whosoever is mindful of Allah, that Allah is there, whosoever has any idea of resurrection, of akhirah, he will definitely believe in Quran. So this is the meaning of the ayah. وَهَذَا كِتَابٌ أَنزَلْنَاهُ مُبَارَكٌ مُصَدِّقُ الَّذِي بَيْنَ يَدَيْهِ وَلِتُنْزِرَ أُمَّ الْقُرَىٰ وَمَنْ حَوْلَهَا وَالَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْآخِرَةِ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِهِ وَهُمْ عَلَىٰ صَلَاتِهِمْ يُحَافِظُونَ. And it can also mean that whosoever believes in this Quran, he will be very much watchful about his prayers. He will keep his prayers established. وَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ مِمَّنِ افْتَرَىٰ عَلَى اللَّهِ كَذِبًا. And who is more evildoer than that, who concocts a false thing and attributes it to Allah. Kazaba ala Allah. You have concocted something, you have framed some false idea, and then you attribute it to Allah. That Allah has said so. So this is the biggest crime. Or you are not the prophet, revelation has not come to you, and you say that revelation is coming to me. Both meanings are included. وَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ مِمَّنِ افْتَرَىٰ عَلَى اللَّهِ كَذِبًا أَوْ قَالَ أُوحِيَ إِلَيَّ وَلَمْ يُوحَ إِلَيْهِ شَيْءٌ. Or he claims that revelation has come to him, although no revelation was sent to him. وَمَنْ قَالَ سَأُنزِلُ مِثْلَ مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ. And then there were other arrogant type of people in Makkah who said, oh, what is it, Quran? I can also compose some composition like Quran. But when the challenge was thrown to them, وَإِن كُنْتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ مِمَّا نَزَّلْنَا عَلَىٰ عَبْدِنَا فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِّثْلِهِ. Nobody could dare. But they could say, oh, nothing. We can also compose, we can also send down the same as Quran, according to Muhammad, is being sent down to him. سَأُنزِلُ مِثْلَ مَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ وَلَوْ تَرَىٰ إِذِ الظَّالِمُونَ فِي غَمَرَاتِ الْمَوْتِ. And only if you could see when these evildoers will be in the pangs of death, in the agonies of death. When they will be dying, they are arrogant, they are haughty, they are proud, they are pronouncing and saying these blasphemies without any fear of Allah. But the time will come. وَلَوْ تَرَىٰ إِذِ الظَّالِمُونَ فِي غَمَرَاتِ الْمَوْتِ. When they will be having and experiencing the agonies and pangs of death. وَالْمَلَائِكَةُ بَاسِطُو أَيْدِيهِمْ. And the angels will be extending their hands, arms. أَخْرِجُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ. Give up your souls. Give out your life. الْيَوْمَ تُجْزَوْنَ عَذَابَ الْهُونِ بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَقُولُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ غَيْرَ الْحَقِّ. This day you will be recompensed with a punishment which is humiliating. عَذَابَ الْهُونِ بِمَا كُنْتُمْ تَقُولُونَ عَلَى اللَّهِ غَيْرَ الْحَقِّ. Because of what you had been saying and attributing to Allah, but was false. وَكُنْتُمْ عَنْ آيَاتِهِ تَسْتَكْبِرُونَ. And you had been arrogant, and you were showing arrogance against His revelations. وَلَقَدْ جِئْتُمُونَا فُرَادًا. And then on the day of judgment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will say, وَلَقَدْ جِئْتُمُونَا فُرَادًا. You have come to us today alone. Where are your servants? Where are your slaves? Where's all your money and your palaces? You left everything back. Come alone. وَلَقَدْ جِئْتُمُونَا فُرَادًا. The big mansion, the big villa that you built, you left it. كَمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ. As we had created you for the first time. Here we have relations. He is my brother, he is my helper. This is my nation. But when Allah created us in souls only, there was no relationship, no father, no son. The souls of all human beings present at one time. The soul of Adam and the soul of the last man who will be born in this world till the doomsday. There was no relationship. All these relationships, they have taken place in this world of matter. Here, we are attached to different people. At that time we were not. And in the Akhirah also we will be alone. Nobody will be able to help us. فَلَقَدْ جِئْتُمُونَا فُرَادًا. You have come to us alone. كَمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ وَتَرَكْتُمْ مَا خَوَّلْنَاكُمْ وَرَاءَ ظُهُورِكُمْ. And you have left behind you whatever we bestowed upon you. مَا نَرَى مَعَكُمْ شُفَعَاكُمُ الَّذِينَ زَعَمْتُمْ أَنَّهُمْ فِيكُمْ شُرَكَاءُ. And how come we are not seeing along with you your associate gods, whom you had thought that they are the partners of Allah in your matters? They will also have some say. They will be able to save us. How come? They are not visible. Where are they? They have not come with you. Anybody who has to intercede must come with the person. Anybody who wants to make some recommendation, he has to accompany him. وَمَا لَكُمْ وَمَا نَرَى مَعَكُمْ شُفَعَاكُمُ الَّذِينَ زَعَمْتُمْ أَنَّهُمْ فِيكُمْ شُرَكَاءُ قَدْ تَقَطَّعَ بَيْنَكُمْ. All relationships among you have been broken. وَضَلَّ عَنْكُمْ مَا كُنْتُمْ تَزْعُمُونَ. And all that you had fabricated, that has vanished, that has gone in vain, gone with the wind. إِنَّ اللَّهَ فَالِقُ الْحَبِّ وَالنَّوَىٰ. Verily, it is Allah who splits the grain and the dead stone. When you sow a seed, a grain, then it splits into two. A leaf comes out of it, or two. Who is doing it? It is happening on its own? No. Allah is doing it. إِنَّ اللَّهَ فَالِقُ الْحَبِّ وَالنَّوَىٰ يُخْرِجُ الْحَيَّ مِنَ الْمَيِّتِ وَمُخْرِجُ الْمَيِّتَ مِنَ الْحَيِّ. He brings out the living from the dead. This dead stone is dead. Is there any sign of life in it? From it is appearing those leaves, and now they are taking the form of a dead palm. So living matter had come out from the dead. In the same way, he can bring out the dead, he will bring out the dead from the living. ذَلِكُمُ. Such is Allah. This is the attribute of Allah. فَأَنَّا تُؤْفَكُونَ. So whence are you being deviated? Can't you reach here? You must reach the logical conclusion. فَالِقُ الْإِصْبَاحِ. And he is the cleaver of the dawn. The sheet of darkness broken, and the rays coming out, the dawn, the white thread of dawn. Who is doing it? خَالِقُ الْإِصْبَاحِ وَجَعَلَ اللَّيْلَ سَكَنًا وَالشَّمْسَ وَالْقَمَرَ حُسْبَانًا. He has made the night for you for resting. And he has made the sun and the moon for your calculation. You are calculating time, the serial time. In philosophy they say there are two types of time. The absolute time, ad-dar. Inna dara huwa Allah. There is a hadith. La tasubbu ad-dar. Fa inna dara huwa Allah. Never abuse dahr. Because what you attribute to dahr is actually the decision and command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Dahr. And asr. Asr is the serial time, passing time. So now this passing time, we have to measure. So this sun, how much sun? This tells us that half of the day has passed, because the sun is right on our top. It has gone here, so 3/4 of the day has passed. The moon, it tells you how many days of the month have passed. So actually these are the calculation, measures for the time. وَالشَّمْسَ وَالْقَمَرَ حُسْبَانًا ذَلِكَ تَقْدِيرُ الْعَزِيزِ الْعَلِيمِ. And this is the ordaining of Allah, of the person you may call Al-Aziz Al-Alim. Who is Al-Aziz? All powerful, having all authority, and who has all the knowledge. He has ordained all these things in this form. You must have noted all these three ayat start with the same words, Huwa Allazi, Huwa Allazi, Huwa Allazi. Now actually, what is Tawheed? Tawheed is that whatever is happening is in this universe, although it is happening according to certain laws of nature. And these laws of nature, science has investigated and is investigating, knowing more and more of them, then exploiting them more and more. But the result is that the modern scientific rationalism, or if you allow me to call it modern scientific ignorance, is that we tend to believe that these things are happening on their own, automatically. No divine will, no divine command, no divine permission. Everything happening by its own. Simple laws of nature working automatically. Thus we go farther away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We are diving deep into the laws of the nature. We are knowing more and more of them. We are exploiting them. Science is advancing. And we are even conquering the space. But we are going farther and farther and farther away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Here we know, Allah says it is Allah who is doing it. He doesn't say that these laws of nature which we have discovered are wrong. It is happening according to the laws. But who made the laws? And not only that he made the laws, but also is controlling. He can, break the laws whenever he likes. So that is actually Tawheed. You can join these things together. This is science. This we know the laws of the nature. We are investigating these phenomena. We are knowing more and more. But, the decisive will is of Allah. It is His command. He is doing it. هو الذي جعل لكم النجوم لتهتدوا بها في ظلمات البر والبحر. It is He who has made for you the stars so that you get the guidance through them in the darknesses of the land as well as the sea. قد فصلنا الآيات لقوم يعلمون. And we have detailed our revelation for people who know or who want to know. وهو الذي أنشأكم من نفس واحدة. It is He who has raised you and created you from one being. فَمُسْتَقَرٌ وَمُسْتَوْدَعٌ. Then there is an abode, a lodging place, and a repository. Now the meanings of these two words, there is difference of opinion among the mufassirin. Mustaqar is some place where you live. You stay long, sort of a permanent abode. Mustawda, where you keep something for some time, temporarily. There are three views among the mufassirin. Mustaqar is akhirah. The hereafter is the mustaqar. The permanent abode is akhirah, not this dunya. And this dunya is mustawda. We are here temporarily. This is not our abode. This is not permanent lodging place for us. This is a temporary stay here that we are having. The other opinion, mustaqar is akhirah, mustawda is qabr, in which you are placed for this period of intervening between your death and resurrection. So this is the repository where you have been placed. And the third opinion is that mustaqar is dunya and mustawda is the womb of the mother. There we remained for a while, for 9 months. That was a temporary place to stay. And then, mustaqar was dunya, because we had to stay here, say for 60 years, 70 years, 80 years, 40 years. So these are the three opinions. وَهُوَ الَّذِي أَنْشَأَكُم مِّن نَفْسٍ وَاحِدَةٍ. It is He who raised you from one being, one living organism, نَفْسٍ وَاحِدَةٍ. فَمُسْتَقَرٌ وَمُسْتَوْدَعٌ. Then He has given you the permanent abode also and a temporary place of repository. قَدْ فَصَّلْنَا الْآيَاتِ لِقَوْمٍ يَفْقَهُونَ. We have explained our revelations for people who understand. وَهُوَ الَّذِي أَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً. It is He who is sending down water from the height, from the sky. He brings the rain. Although it's the water from the ocean which is evaporating and going up, which condenses in the atmosphere to become the clouds, and the winds are taking the clouds far off. It's okay, you know it. There's no contradiction. But actually this whole system is being controlled by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you keep Allah along with these scientific phenomena in your mind, both simultaneously, then it is Tawheed. If you just ignore Allah, it is going on by itself, and all your attention is focused on these physical phenomena, scientific phenomena, then you drift away, and you just lose sight of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is actually going astray. وَهُوَ الَّذِي أَنزَلَ مِنَ السَّمَاءِ مَاءً. It is He who sends down water. فَأَخْرَجْنَا بِهِ نَبَاتَ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. Then we bring out with it, with this water, the vegetation of everything. فَأَخْرَجْنَا مِنْهُ خَضِرًا. Then we bring out from the earth the green crop. نُخْرِجُ مِنْهُ حَبًّا مُتَرَاكِبًا. And then we grow the grain, the close clustered grain. وَمِنَ النَّخْلِ مِنْ طَلِعِهَا قِنْوَانٌ. And from the date palms, from the space thereof, come forth thick clustered dates, low-hanging, قِنْوَانٌ دَانِيَةٌ وَجَنَّاتٍ مِنْ عَنَابٍ. And then we have created gardens of grapes, وَالزَّيْتُونَ, and of olive, وَالرُّمَّانَ, and pomegranate, مُشْتَبِهًا وَغَيْرُ مُتَشَابِهٍ. They look similar to each other, but they are also dissimilar. What does it mean? From one plant, one tree, the pomegranates, they appear to be very close and very similar to each other, but in taste they are different. Unzuru ila samarihi. Look with attention towards the fruit that it is bearing. Iza asmara, when it bears the fruit. Vayan'ihi, and the ripening of the fruit, this process before your own eyes, it is going on. But who is doing it? Is it happening on its own, automatically, without any controller, without any creator? No. Inna fi zalikum la ayatin liqawmin yu'minun. In all these things there are signs for those who want to believe, who have the belief. They observe this, and their conviction in Allah and His attributes increases. A scientist who is a Mu'min scientist, when he observes all these phenomena, his estimation of Allah becomes greater and greater. Oh, He is all powerful. He can do everything. He is all wise. But who doesn't believe in Allah, he is knowing all these laws and phenomena and science and the laws of nature, but he doesn't believe in Allah, and he is not estimating Him as the omnipotent, omniscient, and omnipresent Allah. وَجَعَلُوا لِلَّهِ شُرَكَاءَ الْجِنِّ. Another form of their shirk was that they had designated to jinns to be equals to Allah. جَعَلُوا لِلَّهِ شُرَكَاءَ الْجِنِّ. وَخَلَقَهُمْ. Although Allah has created them. He created you, He created the jinns also. You are also a creature of Allah, and they are also the creature of Allah. So why do you hold them as high as associating them with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? وَخَرَقُوا لَهُ بَنِينَ وَبَنَاتٍ. And they have concocted for Allah sons and daughters. The Christians say that Jesus was the begotten Son of God. And there had been a sect among the Jews who said that Uzair alayhi salatu wasalam was son of Allah. And only these people, the pagan Arabs, they used to say, these deities, these goddesses, Lat and Uzza and Manat, they are daughters of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they thought that angels are daughters of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَخَرَقُوا لَهُ بَنِينَ وَبَنَاتٍ بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ. Without any knowledge. What is the basis? On what authority are you saying it? Have Allah said it so in any of His scriptures? In Torah, in Bible, anywhere? وَخَرَقُوا لَهُ بَنِينَ وَبَنَاتٍ بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى عَمَّا يَصِفُونَ. Glory to Him. And He is far beyond, much high and exalted than what they are attributing to Him. بَدِيعُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. Now this is the word creation ex nihilo. Ibda means creating without any matter. And khalq means to create something from something. Khalq and ibda, or ijad or takween, three words. Ibda, ijad, takween, they mean the same. Khalq, ijad, ibda and takween means to create something out of nothing. This is bid'ah, ibda. That is why we call bid'ah, that you have innovated something in religion which has no basis, no roots. Whatever you want to do, there must be some root, there must be some basis, some source in Quran or in Hadith, Sunnah, or in the practice of the companions of the Prophet. But if you are inventing some other ceremony, some other ritual, which has no roots, it is bid'ah. In the same way, ibda was creation ex nihilo. Badi'u samawati wal ard. He is the originator of the heavens and the earth. Anna yakunu lahu waladun. How can there be a son or a daughter for him? Walam takun lahu sahiba, when there has been no wife for him. Either you believe in a wife also. But at least the pagan Arabs didn't believe in any wife. But as I told you, the Egyptians, the Egyptian Trinity included, they didn't call him the wife of God, but the mother God, God mother. God as father, Horus as the son of God, Isis as the godmother. And actually the Christians in the later days, not in the very beginning after Jesus ﷺ, but later on, they also imitated, invented this Trinity. And the Trinity originally was God as Father, Jesus as Son of God, and Mary as Godmother. That was the Trinity. Just we have an example in the case of Ismailis. When they came over to India and they wanted to preach their own brand of Islam to the local Hindus here, they found that they believe in 9 incarnations of God. This was an incarnation of God, Rama was an incarnation of God, and Krishna was an incarnation of God. So there are 9. They added Hazrat Ali as the 10th. Dasam Avatar. He is the 10th incarnation of God. So it became very close to their minds. It becomes very easily acceptable to them. Dasam Avatar. You believe in 9 avatars, you believe in 9 gods incarnate, so why not believe in one more? The same thing that the Christians did. To spread their dogma, they imitated the dogma that was already existing in Egypt. So that was the Trinity to begin with. وَجَعَلُوا لِلَّهِ شُرَكَاءَ الْجِنَّ وَخَلَقَهُمْ وَخَلَقُوا لَهُ بَنِينَ وَبَنَاتٍ بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ سُبْحَانَهُ وَتَعَالَى عَمَّا يَصِفُونَ بَدِيعُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ أَنَّىٰ يَكُونُ لَهُ وَلَدٌ وَلَمْ تَكُن لَهُ صَاحِبَةٌ وَخَلَقَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ. He has created everything. Everything except him is the creation. He is the creator. That's all. وَهُوَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٌ. And it is not that after creating everything, he is unaware of it. No, he knows everything. As we read, that even if a leaf is dropping from the tree, it is in his knowledge. And the darknesses of the land, earth, or in the sea or ocean, everything is in his knowledge. ذَلِكُمُ اللَّهُ رَبُّكُمْ. Now this is introducing Allah. This is Tawheed. Who is Allah? What are his attributes? As we say, آمَنْتُ بِاللَّهِ كَمَا هُوَ بِأَسْمَائِهِ وَصِفَاتِهِ. Believe in Allah is nothing unless you believe in all his attributes. Belief in God, everybody has the belief in God. But what are the attributes of Allah in whom we believe? So the attributes of Allah, آمَنْتُ بِاللَّهِ كَمَا هُوَ بِأَسْمَائِهِ وَصِفَاتِهِ. So these attributes of Allah, they are being explained one by one. ذَلِكُمُ اللَّهُ رَبُّكُمْ. Such is Allah, your Lord. La ilaha illahu. There is no God except him. خَالِقُ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. He is the creator of all the things. فَعْبُدُوهُ. So what is the logical result? You must worship him. You must obey him totally. You must love him from the depths of your heart. All these 3 things go to make ibadah. Some mode of worship to show your reverence and respect. Then love. You must love him more than anything else. And then total obedience. 3 things joined go to make ibadah. فَعْبُدُوهُ وَهُوَ عَلَىٰ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَكِيلٌ. And he is the guardian and responsible for everything. لَا تُدْرِكُهُ الْأَبْصَارُ. Sights cannot comprehend him. Our eyes, our sight cannot comprehend him. He is invisible. Our sight cannot comprehend him. لَا تُدْرِكُهُ الْأَبْصَارُ وَهُوَ يُدْرِكُ الْأَبْصَارُ. He comprehends the sights. He is seeing you, but you can't see him. وَهُوَ اللَّطِيفُ الْخَبِيرُ. And he is the subtle one, Latif. You cannot comprehend him. He is beyond that comprehension. But on the other side, he is Khabir. He is aware of everything. He is aware of everything, but you can't know him in his person. You can't see him. You can know him only through his attributes. That's all. آمَنْتُ بِاللَّهِ كَمَا هُوَ بِأَسْمَائِهِ وَصِفَاتِهِ. What is his person? How is he like? What is his form? You can't see it. It is beyond your perception and beyond your conception even. قَدْ جَاءَكُمْ بَصَائِرُ مِنْ رَبِّكُمْ. O mankind, the enlightenments have already reached you from your Lord. This is enlightenment. This is how he is introducing you to Allah. He is telling you his attributes. Basair, enlightenment has come to you from your Rabb, from your Lord. Faman absara falinafsi. So whosoever sees, so he sees for himself. Faman amiya. And whosoever closes his eyes, becomes blind, doesn't want to see, فَعَلَيْهَا. So it is going to harm him and none else. وَمَا أَنَا عَلَيْكُمْ بِحَفِيظٍ. And I am not a guard over you or a watch upon you. And in this way we are rotating our revelations. We are changing our modes of expression. We are telling you things, the same things in various ways. وَلَيَقُولُوا. So that these unbelievers say, you have learned. No doubt you are a learned person. وَلِنُبَيِّنَهُ لِقَوْمٍ يَعْلَمُونَ. Even if they don't accept, they will accept that you have learned and you are a knowledgeable person. وَلِنُبَيِّنَهُ لِقَوْمٍ يَعْلَمُونَ. And so that we make it clear for those people who have the knowledge or who want to have the knowledge. اتَّبِعْ مَا أُوحِيَ إِلَيْكَ مِنْ رَبِّكَ. Follow whatever has been revealed to you from your Lord. La ilaha illahu. How many times it is being repeated? La ilaha illahu. La ilaha illahu. This is Tawheed. There is no God except Him. وَعَارِضَ لِلْمُشْرِكِينَ. And just turn away your faces from these people, the associators of something or someone with Allah. وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ مَا أَشْرَكُوا. Had Allah decided and willed, they couldn't do any shirk. Whatever sin somebody is committing here in this world, it is because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the freedom of choice. If we wanted to perforce bring us to the right path, who could go to the wrong path then? So this is because for testing. خَلَقَ الْمَوْتَ وَالْحَيَاةَ لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا. This life which we have given you in this world, it is a testing period. قُلْزُمِ हस्ती से तो उभरा मानिंदे हबाब, इस नया खाने में तेरा इम्तिहान है जिंदगी. And for this imtihan, for this ibtila, for this trial, for this testing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us the choice. You can go this way, you can go this way. Imma shakiram wa imma kafura. If you want to behave as grateful to us, okay. If you want to behave as thankless person, okay, go ahead. If he had decided not to let you go that way, you couldn't go. وَمَا جَعَلْنَاكَ عَلَيْهِمْ حَفِيظًا. And we have not appointed you, O Muhammad, as their keeper or as their guardian. وَمَا أَنْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ بِوَكِيلٍ. And you are not responsible about them. You are responsible only for conveying to them the message of Allah, preaching to them the revelations that are coming to you from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The rest of the responsibility lies on their own shoulders. وَلَا تَسُبُّوا الَّذِينَ يَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ فَيَسُبُّوا اللَّهَ عَدْوًا بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ. And don't abuse and call bad names to those deities whom they are calling or worshipping except Allah. Although they are false, but you shouldn't call bad names to them. You shouldn't abuse them, because then what will happen? These ignorant people, فَيَسُبُّ اللَّهَ عَدْوًا بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ. They will in retaliation abuse Allah. And they will use bad names for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they will do without any knowledge. كَذَلِكَ زَيَّنَّا لِكُلِّ أُمَّةٍ عَمَلَهُمْ. In this way we have made the actions and deeds of every community seem beautiful to them. Their own religion, their own dogmas, they seem very good to them. So if you just annoy them, and if you abuse their gods and goddesses, false goddesses, although they have no reality, but then they will react and retaliate, and they might abuse Allah. ثُمَّ إِلَىٰ رَبِّهِمْ مَرْجِعُهُمْ. Then to God, to Allah, to their Lord is their return. فَيُنَبِّئُهُمْ بِمَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. Then He will inform them of what they were doing. وَأَقْسَمُوا بِاللَّهِ جَهْدَ أَيْمَانِهِمْ. Now this is the point that we discussed last night in detail. And they swear by Allah the most earnest oaths. لَإِنْ جَاءَتْهُ آيَةٌ. If some miracle comes to us, if Muhammad can show us a clear miracle, visible miracle, palpable miracle, لَيُؤْمِنُنَّ بِهَا. They will definitely believe in it. Then they will accept Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as Prophet of Allah. قُلْ إِنَّمَا الْآيَاتُ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ. Tell them, All the miracles and signs are with Allah, in His command only. It is His power. وَمَا يُشْعِرُكُمْ. Now the address is turning towards the Muslims. I told you that it might have been that some of the Muslims might have thought that what's the harm? If they are demanding a miracle, if a miracle is shown, maybe some of them, come to believe. Or at least they will have to shut their mouths. Then their argument will be finished. But here Allah is saying, وَمَا يُشْعِرُكُمْ. You don't know, O Muslims, أَنَّهَا إِذَا جَاءَتْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. That even if those miracles are shown and they have come to them, they will never believe. Because that is not the real reason of their unbelieving. They know from their hearts, from the bottom of their heart, that this Quran is from Allah. It cannot be composed by any human being. When thrice, rather 4 times the challenge has been thrown to them in these surahs, in Surah Yunus, in Surah Hud, in Surah Bani Israel, and then for the 4th time in Surah Al-Baqarah. وَإِن كُنْتُمْ فِي رَيْبٍ مِّمَّا نَزَّلْنَا عَلَىٰ عَبْدِنَا فَأْتُوا بِسُورَةٍ مِّن مِّثْلِهِ. And they could never dare to meet this challenge. So actually they know it by heart, that this is from Allah, but they don't want to accept it. Why? Then, their position, they lose their positions. Their vested interest is gone. Then they will have to obey Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This subordination, that is not acceptable to them. وَمَا يُشْعِرُكُمْ. And you don't know it. What thing will make you know? أَنَّهَا إِذَا جَاءَتْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. When those all signs, even if they come to them, they are not going to believe. وَنُقَلِّبُ أَفْئِدَتَهُمْ وَأَبْصَارَهُمْ كَمَا لَمْ يُؤْمِنُوا بِهِ أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ. And we have overturned, or we shall overturn their hearts and their sights, as they didn't believe for the first time. It is a very basic philosophical ayah of the Quran. Once some truth dawns on you, and your heart testifies this is true, if you accept, it's okay. If you don't accept, you reject. What? Out of arrogance. Knowing that this is true, this is correct. As I told you, it happens to us. Many times we are in an argument, we are arguing among ourselves, and during the course of argument, I feel that the point of view that he is presenting is correct. But if I accept, it means I am defeated. He is victorious. Well, I am not ready. And then I start arguing and arguing, going to the left, to the right. Although my heart is telling, no, you are doing wrong. So actually Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, when the truth dawns upon you, you jump at it. If you reject it, then the capability, the faculty of recognizing the truth will be taken away from you. This is what we call disuse atrophy in physiology. These eyes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us to see. If you tie them up, cover them up for about 2-3 months, the sight will be gone. Because you are not using it. This joint is to move. You put a plaster to the joint. After a few months, this capability of movement will go. It will be just frozen. If you don't use anything which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, then the capability of that thing is withdrawn by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given human beings the capacity and the capability to recognize truth. This is true. Now if you accept it instantaneously, it's good for you. Your capacity of recognizing truth will increase. But if you decide to reject what your heart has told you it is correct, then this capability is withdrawn from you. This is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, نُقَلِّبُ أَفْئِدَتَهُمْ. We shall overturn their hearts and their sights. كَمَا لَمْ يُؤْمِنُوا بِهِ أَوَّلَ مَرَّةٍ. Because of that they didn't believe in it for the first time, when the truth has dawned on him. And actually this process reaches its climax. A man reaches the point of no return now. That is what Allah calls, we have put a seal on their heart. Now he cannot reach. He cannot go back. Because he has reached the point of no return. وَنَذَرُهُمْ فِي طُغْيَانِهِمْ يَعْمَهُونَ. And we shall leave them in their rebellion, advancing blindly. Go now. Go as far as you can go. You want to go. We have put a seal on your heart now. You are free to advance in these evils and all these things as far as you like. وَلَوْ أَنَّنَا نَزَّلْنَا إِلَيْهِمُ الْمَلَائِكَةَ. Now because they were demanding miracles, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just as He had told the Muslim, وَمَا يُشْعِرُكُمْ أَنَّهَا إِذَا جَاءَتْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Now this thing is explained in the next ayah. وَلَوْ أَنَّنَا أَنزَلْنَا إِلَيْهِمُ الْمَلَائِكَةَ. Had we sent upon them the angels, وَكَلَّمَهُمُ الْمَوْتَى, or even the dead people would have come out from their graves and talked to them. Believe in Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. He is a true messenger of Allah. وَحَشَرْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ قُبُلًا. And even if we had gathered before them all the things face to face, مَا كَانُوا لَيُؤْمِنُوا إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ. They couldn't believe except if Allah permitted. Now because they had gone to that extent of no return, Allah is not permitting them. They will never be permitted now. The seal had been put on their hearts and curtains have been thrown before their eyes. We have it in the very first section of Surah Al-Baqarah. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا سَوَاءٌ عَلَيْهِمْ أَنذَرْتَهُمْ أَمْ لَمْ تُنذِرْهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ خَتَمَ اللَّهُ عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ وَعَلَى سَمْعِهِمْ وَعَلَى أَبْصَارِهِمْ غِشَاوَةٌ وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ. Now they have gone beyond that point. They have crossed the point of no limit. So now all the miracles, even what they demand, if they are shown to them, they are not going to believe. وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرَهُمْ يَجْهَلُونَ. Most of them, they are following their passions and emotions. وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَا لِكُلِّ نَبِيٍّ عَدُوًّا شَيَاطِينَ الْإِنسِ وَالْجِنِّ. A very important ayah. And that is why we ourselves appoint for every Nabi, for every prophet, enemies, Satans from the humans as well as the jinn. We ourselves appoint. Could Abu Jahl oppose Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam if Allah has not permitted him to do it? Well, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Nobody can do anything if Allah doesn't permit him to do it. Could Abu Jahl oppose him? Could Abu Jahl persecute him? Could Abu Lahab do any harm to Muhammad? Could Umayyah ibn Khalf beat Bilal radiyallahu anhu? No. All might have been paralyzed the moment he tried Hazrat Bilal. But no. Allah gives them the freedom. Go ahead. Test our believers. Test their courage. Test their steadfastness. Go and test their forbearance. وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَا لِكُلِّ نَبِيٍّ عَدُوًّا شَيَاطِينَ الْإِنسِ وَالْجِنِّ يُوحِي بَعْضُهُمْ إِلَى بَعْضٍ زُخْرُفَ الْقَوْلِ غُرُورًا. They inspire one another with gilded, adorned speech in a deception. وَلَوْ شَاءَ رَبُّكَ مَا فَعَلُوهُ. If your Lord had willed, they couldn't do it. And we believe in it. Not even any leaf can move without the permission of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So they were permitted by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those people who were persecuted. Why? You will find in the next ayah. فَذَرْهُمْ وَمَا يَفْتَرُونَ. So leave them alone, O Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and their forgings and concoctions, whatever they are saying. وَلِتَصْغَى إِلَيْهِ أَفَّدَةُ الَّذِينَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْآخِرَةِ. Why have we given them this freedom? Why this freedom of persecution? Why this freedom of going towards the wrong path? So that the hearts of those who don't believe in hereafter, they incline towards them. You can understand this phenomenon as we know electrolysis. Salt is there in a solution form. You pass the current. It is broken into ions. Positive ions going to this side, negative ions going to this side. Now this process of electrolysis is happening in this society. There is the dawah from Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Revelation of Quran is coming. Now whosoever are pure of nature, the right, the positive ions, they will accumulate towards Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And whosoever are negative in their nature, perverted nature, they are the negative ions, they have to go to the other side. But if there is no electrolysis, these things will not separate. They will remain as one. So Allah wants that there should be polarization. Those who love truth, they should go to one side. Those who love falsehood, they should go to the other side. And for that purpose, this process of electrolysis and this agitation is going on in this society with the permission of Allah. وَلِتَصْغَى إِلَيْهِ أَفْئِدَةُ الَّذِينَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْآخِرَةِ. Here again note, the most decisive thing is whether you have some belief in Akhirah. Then you will go to the right side. You are the rightly charged ions. You will go that side. And if you doesn't have any fear of Akhirah, any idea of Akhirah, no idea of resurrection, then you are absolutely lost in this world. Then Quran becomes meaningless for you. The sermon of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, his dawah becomes meaningless to you. That could have no effect on Abu Jahl and Abu Lahab, etc. Because they were absolutely engrossed and lost in this world and the lusts of this world. وَلَيَرْضُوهُ, so that they may delight in it. وَلَيَقْتَرِفُوا مَا هُمْ يُقْتَرِفُونَ, and so that they should gather and earn what they are gathering and earning. أَفَغَيْرَ اللَّهِ يَبْتَغِي حَكَمًا. Again, a very searching question. Should I seek another authority, another judge, except Allah? وَهُوَ الَّذِي أَنزَلَ إِلَيْكُمُ الْكِتَابَ مُفَصَّلًا. It is He who has sent down on you this book, which is very well explained, very fully explained. وَالَّذِينَ آتَيْنَاهُمُ الْكِتَابَ يَعْلَمُونَ أَنَّهُ مُنَزَّلٌ مِّن رَبِّكَ. And those whom the book was given before this book, the people of the book, the Jews and the Christians, they very well know that this is the truth from their Lord. As we have read, يَعْرِفُونَهُ كَمَا يَعْرِفُونَ أَبْنَاهُ. They recognize Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam just as they recognize their own sons. Nobody can make a mistake in recognizing his son. The Buhaira Rahib, he recognized Muhammad when he was only 11 or 12 years old. And he told Abu Talib, his uncle, take care of this person, this boy, because the Jews, if they come to know, they will harm him. This was the warning from Buhaira. And there were people who recognized him. The Heraclius, Emperor Heraclius, he recognized him. Nagus, he recognized. And about the ulama of Jews, Quran says many a time, يَعْرِفُونَهُ كَمَا يَعْرِفُونَ أَبْنَاهُ. They were waiting for the last prophet. But actually, they had recognized him. But out of only this jealousy that he is not from amongst us, they are the biggest racist group in the world. No more racist than Jews. Racist, because this is a racial religion. This is one race. It belongs to one race. They say we are the human beings, complete human beings. All the other who appear to be human beings are actually animals in the form of human beings. They are goyim, they are Gentiles. They are not fully human beings at all. So this racism, that became the hurdle in their way. أَفَغَيْرَ اللَّهِ يَبْتَغِي حَكَمًا وَهُوَ الَّذِي أَنزَلَ إِلَيْكُمُ الْكِتَابَ مُفَصَّلًا وَالَّذِينَ آتَيْنَاهُمُ الْكِتَابَ يَعْلَمُونَ أَنَّهُ مُنَزَّلٌ مِّن رَبِّكَ بِالْحَقِّ فَلَا تَكُونَنَّ مِنَ الْمُمْتَرِينَ. So you should not be among those who have any doubts, who inculcate any doubts. وَتَمَّتْ كَلِمَةُ رَبِّكَ صِدْقًا وَعَدْلًا. And the word of your God has reached perfection and completion, both in truthfulness and justice. لَا مُبَدِّلَ لِكَلِمَاتِهِ. There is none who can change his words. وَهُوَ السَّمِيعُ الْعَلِيمُ. He is all hearing, all knowing. وَإِن تُطِعْ أَكْثَرَ مَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ. And if you follow the majority of the people on the earth, يُضِلُّوكَ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. They will lead you astray from the path of Allah. This is very important ayah, you know. If you believe in popular sovereignty, what does popular sovereignty means? The opinion of the majority should prevail. And Quran says, in tute aksara man fil ard. Majority or minority, they are not the criterion of truth. The truth is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent down. So the democracy that Islam will have will be limited by the injunctions of the Quran and the Sunnah. Within those limits, you can have a majority vote, no harm. Well, this is also permissible, this is also permissible. Let us decide by majority vote. This drink is also halal, this drink is also halal. Which one we should serve in the party that we are arranging? Well, majority vote can decide it, no harm. But we can't make anything which is haram, even 100% can't declare it to be halal. That authority is not given to any aksariyat, to any majority. In tote, if this majority becomes final verdict, if they have the authority, yudilluka an sabilillah, they will take you away and astray from the path of Allah. In yattabi'una illa dhann. Because this majority doesn't follow except the conjectures. وَإِنْهُمْ إِلَّا يَخْرُصُونَ, and they are just guessing. They don't have any knowledge. So the knowledgeable people who know the book of Allah, the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, well, they can decide whether something is halal or haram. That is why I said in my lecture which I gave on the structure of the Islamic State, that the parliament has the right to legislate, but within the limits of the Kitab and Sunnah. And whether something has exceeded the limits of the Kitab and Sunnah or not, it will be decided by the judiciary, not the majority. The experts are sitting over here. They will decide whether you have exceeded the limits or not. Inna rabbaka huwa a'lamu man yadillu an sabilihi. Verily your Lord very well knows who has gone astray from his path. Wa huwa a'lamu bil muhtadin, and he very well knows also those who are rightly guided. فَقُلُوا مِمَّا ذُكِرَ اسْمُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ إِن كُنتُم بِآيَاتِهِ مُؤْمِنِينَ. Now in these two ayat, because we have read there were superstitions in the Arabic society, in the Arabian society. Some animals, because they have been dedicated to such and such thing, and such this she-camel has given birth to so many children, offsprings, etc. Now they are haram. Now nobody can touch them. Nobody can eat their flesh. Nobody can ride them. So all these superstitions, they were the man-made laws, having no roots in any revealed book, in any law. So even after becoming Muslims, because these things keep on haunting, because for so many years you had the ideas in your mind that such and such animals, you can't eat the flesh. So even after having Islam, just as we people, most of us, they have converted from Hindus to Muslims. And those Hindu superstitions still haunt us. They go on haunting us. And we can see among our beliefs and at least practices. Maybe you don't say it out. But in practice, you remain aloof from those things, which were forbidden in that background from which we are coming. The same was the case for some of the Muslims. Although Quran had declared nothing, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not declared anything, any such thing. These things have no roots in the divine law. But even then they were reluctant. فَقُلُوا مِمَّا ذُكِرَ اسْمُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ إِن كُنتُم بِآيَاتِهِ مُؤْمِنِينَ. Eat from it. Whatever is halal, as declared by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah's name has been taken over it, you must eat it. وَمَا لَكُمْ أَلَّا تَأْكُلُوا مِمَّا ذُكِرَ اسْمُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ. What has happened to you? What is to you? You don't want to eat on which the Allah's name has been taken? وَقَدْ فَصَّلَ لَكُمْ مَا حَرَّمَ عَلَيْكُمْ. He has already detailed to you what he has made forbidden. You have to abstain from the haram only. Whatever is haram, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has explained to you. إِلَّا مَسْتُرِرْتُمْ إِلَيْهِ. Even among from those which are forbidden permanently. If somebody is constrained, there is nothing to eat, and he is dying of hunger, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has very leniently and graciously given you the permission to save your life by taking something from that. وَإِنَّ كَثِيرًا لَيُضِلُّونَ بِأَفْوَاهِهِمْ بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ. But the majority of the people, many of them, they are taking people away from the path of Allah due to their wishes, due to their concoctions. These are their wishful thinkings, بِغَيْرِ عِلْمٍ, without any knowledge, without any basis, without any argument. إِنَّ رَبَّكَ هُوَ أَعْلَمُ بِالْمُعْتَدِينَ. And your Lord is very well aware of these people who are exceeding the limits. وَذَرُوا ظَاهِرَ الْإِثْمِ وَبَاطِنَهُ. And give up, forsake all sins, whether it is in open or it is in secret, hidden or evident. All sins you have to give up. إِنَّ الَّذِينَ يَكْسِبُونَ الْإِثْمَ سَيُجْزَوْنَ بِمَا كَانُوا يَقْتَرِفُونَ. Those who are earning sins, they will be recompensed, they will be rewarded, they will be punished for that which they have been gathering and earning. وَلَا تَأْكُلُوا مِمَّا لَمْ يُذْكَرِ اسْمُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ وَإِنَّهُ لَفِسْقٌ. And don't eat from that on which Allah's name has not been taken, has not been mentioned, because that is a rebellion against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now it is for the where willfully Intentionally you don't take the name. But as we have read in Surah Al-Ma'idah, the zabiha, if rightly slaughtered, then the animal which has been slaughtered must be permissible in itself, not the swine. Even if you slaughter it according to the strict Islamic laws, it is not going to become halal and permissible. But the goat or the calf, etc., which are permissible to take their flesh. Now, if they are slaughtered by a Jew, a people of the book, or a Christian, but slaughtered in Islamic way, cutting the soft parts of the neck and leaving the spinal cord and the vertebral column intact, then you can take it, although the name of Allah has not been mentioned on it. But if willfully somebody is avoiding, that means it is wrong. وَإِنَّهُ لَفِسْقٌ وَإِنَّ الشَّيَاطِينَ لَيُوحُونَ إِلَىٰ أَوْلِيَائِهِمْ لِيُجَادِلُوكُمْ. And the Satans, they inspire their friends, their agents, لِيُجَادِلُوكُمْ, so that they should argue with you. No, a very interesting argument was, you say this animal died by himself, by itself, it is haram. Who put him to death? Allah. So, an animal put to death by Allah is haram. And whom you sacrifice, whom you put to death, it is halal. How come? It is an argument. So that argument was given because they used to eat the flesh of these dead animals. You will read Surah Anaam also. Even dead born, even to a she-goat, a dead child is born, or to camel, they used to eat it. So meta, for them they think it is halal. Allah has killed it. What's the harm? But the Sharia, Islamic Sharia, has declared it to be haram. Why? Because the blood remains in that body, in the tissues. And blood is haram. One of the main things which have been made, which have been prohibited, is blood. وَلَا تَأْكُلُوا مِمَّا لَمْ يُذْكَرِ اسْمُ اللَّهِ عَلَيْهِ وَإِنَّهُ لَفِسْقٌ وَإِنَّ الشَّيَاطِينَ لَيُوحُونَ إِلَىٰ أَوْلِيَائِهِمْ لِيُجَادِلُوكُمْ, to argue with you. وَإِنْ أَطَعْتُمُوهُمْ إِنَّكُمْ لَمُشْرِكُونَ. If you obey them, if you follow them, then you also become associated with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then you also become one of them. أَوَمَنْ كَانَ مَيْتًا فَأَحْيَيْنَاهُ. Now, imagine a person who was dead. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has brought him to life. But which death? He was dead spiritually. His soul and spirit within him was nearly dead, dormant, asleep, absolute unconscious. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has brought him to life. Now his soul and spirit is also active. أَوَمَنْ كَانَ مَيْتًا فَأَحْيَيْنَاهُ. We have revived him. We have brought him to life spiritually. وَجَعَلْنَا لَهُ نُورًا يَمْشِي بِهِ. And we have given him the light with which he is walking. This nur is Quran. His soul has awakened from the slumber. And now Allah has given him the light also. Now he can walk. He will walk, in different aspects of his life. He will act as a Muslim, as a Mu'min. So actually, keep this one. Kaman masaluhu fi zulumat. Is this example of this person is like the one who is in darknesses. And he is not coming out of the darknesses. He wants to remain in the darkness. All the people in the pagan Arabs, they were spiritually dead. Because no prophetic teaching was with them. No Sharia was with them. No book was with them. So actually, spiritually they were dead. But some of the people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He brought them to life. Now they have Iman. Their souls are now alive. And now Allah has given them the light, this book, Quran, Sharia. And they are walking in the light of this book. And others are, they want to remain plunged in the darknesses. كَمَنْ مَثَلُهُ فِي الظُّلُمَاتِ لَيْسَ بِخَارِجٍ مِنْهَا كَذَلِكَ زُيِّنَ لِلْكَافِرِينَ مَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. In this way, whatever these unbelievers are doing, it has been made beautiful for them. They think we are okay. وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَا فِي كُلِّ قَرْيَةٍ أَكَابِرَ مُجْرِمِيهَا. And in that way, we have appointed in every township very big criminals, like Abu Jahl and Abu Lahab, لَيَمْكُرُوا فِيهَا, so that they go on devising plots against the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the same subject which we read before. وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَا لِكُلِّ نَبِيٍّ عَدُوًّا شَيَاطِينَ الْإِنسِ وَالْجِنِّ. In the same way, وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَا فِي كُلِّ قَرْيَةٍ أَكَابِرَ مُجْرِمِيهَا. The idea could have come to some of the Mu'mins, some of the Muslims of Makkah. Why these people are given this liberty? They are persecuting us. They are leading the people astray. Innocent people. They don't know, but they think these are our leaders. They are more knowledgeable. They go to Syria, they go to Yemen, they know this world more than we know. So we have to follow them. So they are leading the silent majority or the common masses. They are leading them away from the path of Allah. So why this liberty has been given to them? So Allah Ta'ala is explaining, this is because we are testing everybody here. Unless there is also evil. Evil on one side, good on one side. What is the testing then? If there is no evil in this world, no falsehood in this world, nothing, no sins, then what is? No temptation for any sin, no persecution for going towards right. What's your credit then? So that is the philosophy. وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَا فِي كُلِّ قَرْيَةٍ أَكَابِرَ مُجْرِمِيهَا لِيَمْكُرُوا فِيهَا. So that they should devise plots and schemes, and they should plan how to forbid people from accepting Iman and faith. وَمَا يَمْكُرُونَ إِلَّا بِأَنفُسِهِمْ. Whatever they are devising, it is going to be against their own souls. They will be doomed themselves. They will be thrown in the fire of hell. وَمَا يَشْعُرُونَ. But they don't have the understanding. They perceive not. وَإِذَا جَاءَتْهُمْ آيَةٌ قَالُوا لَن نُؤْمِنَ حَتَّى نُؤْتَىٰ مِثْلَ مَا أُوتِيَ رُسُلُ اللَّهِ. And when signs come to them, now what are those signs? These ayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala which are being revealed to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. They say, قَالُوا لَن نُؤْمِنَ. We will never believe in it. حَتَّى نُؤْتَىٰ مِثْلَ مَا أُوتِيَ رُسُلُ اللَّهِ. Unless we are given what was given to the former prophets. The miracles, that type of miracles, the visible miracles, the palpable miracles. If you don't show them to us, we are not going to believe. Allahu a'lamu haythu yaj'alu risalata. Allah is more knowledgeable about where to place and at what level to place His messengerhood. Now this ayah, the idea which has come to my mind is that here it doesn't mean that whom to give messengerhood. Because they were not arguing against the person of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The argument was that we must be given the miracles. So it means the level of messengerhood has been changing. There was a time when humanity was in infancy, in childhood. Children have to be given some toys to play. So they had to be shown these miracles, visible miracles. They couldn't understand things through their intellect, because mentally they were not mature as yet. But now when humanity has come of age, it has become mature intellectually. Now the miracle that has been given to them is the intellectual miracle. Ponder over it, understand it, dive deep into its meaning. It will show you the path. Something within you, your own soul and spirit, will testify to the truthfulness of this book. And you will find the testimony from within you that the source of your own soul and the source of this book is the same. So much is the harmony between human nature and the teachings of this Quran. قَالُوا لَن نُؤْمِنَ حَتَّى نُؤْتَىٰ مِثْلَ مَا أُوتِيَ رُسُلُ اللَّهِ اللَّهُ أَعْلَمُ حَيْثُ يَجْعَلُ رِسَالَتَهُ. Now for His messengerhood, He has put a different level. Not of those which was in the infancy period of humanity. سَيُصِيبُ الَّذِينَ أَجْرَمُوا صَغَارٌ عِندَ اللَّهِ. Very soon, these criminals who are plotting against Allah and His deen, they will have humiliation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Sagarun, humiliation. Wa'azabun shadeedun, and very severe punishment. Bima kanu yamkurun, due to these plots that they were devising against the truth. فَمَنْ يُرِدِ اللَّهُ أَنْ يَهْدِيَهُ يَشْرَحْ صَدْرَهُ لِلْإِسْلَامِ. May Allah make us among them. مَنْ يُرِدِ اللَّهَ, whomsoever Allah decides to guide to the right path. Yashrah sadrahu lil Islam. He opens his heart, widens his chest for Islam. He feels that something within him is readily accepting what Allah is saying. This is called opening of the chest, sharaf sadr. Man yuridillahu an yahdiyahu. This is the hadith. Man yuridillahu bihi khairan yufaqihu fid deen. Whomsoever Allah wants to give some good, He gives him the deep understanding of deen. In the same way, فَمَنْ يُرِدِ اللَّهُ أَنْ يَهْدِيَهُ يَشْرَحْ صَدْرَهُ لِلْإِسْلَامِ. He opens and widens his chest for accepting Islam. وَمَنْ يُرِدْ أَنْ يُضِلَّهُ. And whomsoever he has decided that he will remain on the wrong path, يَجْعَلْ صَدْرَهُ ضَيِّقًا حَرَجًا. He makes his chest as if it is closed and constricted. كَأَنَّمَا يَصَّعَّدُ فِي السَّمَاءِ. As if he has been made to ascend into the sky. He has to strive, and he is, with difficulty, he is going up. كَذَلِكَ يَجْعَلُ اللَّهُ الرِّجْسَ. In this way, Allah Ta'ala puts abomination upon those, عَلَى الَّذِينَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ, upon those who don't believe. وَهَذَا صِرَاطُ رَبِّكَ مُسْتَقِيمًا. And this is the right path of your Lord, which is straight. قَدْ فَصَّلْنَا الْآيَاتِ لِقَوْمٍ يَذَّكَّرُونَ. We have explained our ayat to people who want to be reminded. لَهُمْ دَارُ السَّلَامِ عِنْدَ رَبِّهِمْ. For them is the house of peace, abode of peace with their Lord. وَهُوَ وَلِيُّهُمْ بِمَا كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. And Allah will be their protector because of the deeds that they have been doing. وَيَوْمَ يَحْشَرُهُمْ جَمِيعًا. And just imagine and bring to your mind the time when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will gather them all the jinns, all the humans, they are standing before Him on the Day of Judgment. He will say, Ya ma'ashar al-jinn, O community of jinns, qad istakshartum min al-ins. You begged many from among the humans. You could hunt many. You could beg many. Istakshartum. وَقَالَ أَوْلِيَاءُ مِنَ الْإِنسِ. Now those humans will feel insulted and they would say, رَبَّنَا اسْتَمْتَعَ بَعْضُنَا بِبَعْضٍ. Oh our Lord, we exploited each other. They used us, we used them. They used them because Kahin, they used these jinns to bring the news. And on the basis of those news, on those prophecies, they do business, they have money. So we exploited them, they exploited us. استمتع بعضنا ببعض وبلغنا أجلنا الذي أجلت لنا. And now the time that you had fixed for us, we have reached that time. قال النار مسواكم. Allah will say, now fire is your abode. خالدين فيها. And you will remain in it forever. إلا ما شاء الله. Except those whom Allah wishes. And who are this exception? Because to the hell will go the unbelievers also, who absolutely rejected the faith. But those of the believers also, whose good deeds were lesser than the bad deeds, they will also be thrown. After having the punishment, the requisite punishment of their bad deeds and sins, they will be taken out. So that is why here is illa masha'Allah. Khalidina fiha illa masha'Allah. Inna rabbaka hakimun alim. Verily your Lord is all-wise and all-knowing. وَكَذَلِكَ نُوَلِّي بَعْضَ الظَّالِمِينَ بَعْضًا. And in this way, thus we make some of the evildoers as friends of others. They become friends to each other. The shayateen min al-jinn and shayateen min al-ins. They become friends to each other. They behave as agents of each other. بِمَا كَانُوا يَكْسِبُونَ. Due to their earnings, due to their deeds, due to their earnings, they become mutually friends to each other. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala save us from the friendship of shayateen, from among the humans as well as the jinns. We are beginning with a very important ayah of the Quran regarding its basic philosophy. Ya ma'ashar al-jinni wal-ins. O assembly of the jinnis and the humans. Alam yatekum rusulun minkum. Didn't come to you our messengers from amongst yourselves. Yaqussuna alaykum ayati. Relating to you our ayat, our revelations. Wayunzirunakum liqa yawmikum hadha. And warning you about the meeting of this day of yours. قَالُوا شَهِدْنَا عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِنَا. They will say, yes, we testify against our own selves. وَغَرَّتْهُمُ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا. And they had been deceived by the life of the world. وَشَهِدُوا عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ. Again. And they will be the witnesses against their own selves. أَنَّهُمْ كَانُوا كَافِرِينَ. That they had been unbelievers. Now why this bracketing of jinnis and humans in this ayah? In the Quran, there are only a very few ayat in which these two creatures, they are grouped together and addressed together. Although we find in Surah Rahman that about 33 times it is repeated. فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. Here again, repeatedly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking a question from the jinnis as well as the humans. But addressing them together, positively, asking them something to do, it's very seldom in the Quran. Mostly Quran addresses human beings. Now what is common here between the jinns and the humans that they are bracketed here together? Let it be known that of all the creatures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there are only three creations who have self-consciousness. Although the innumerable forms of life on this planet, whether they are on the land or in the sea, they have consciousness. Animals have consciousness. But the self-consciousness, consciousness of your own ego, which we denote, I am. This self-consciousness is shared only by three creatures of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the angels, the jinns, and the humans. Out of these three, the angels are a part and parcel of the unseen. Therefore, there is no question of any testing or trial. They see the heavens with their eyes. They see the hell. So there is no question of any testing or trial. Now these two, jinns and the humans, they are tried here in their lives, whether they believe in the unseen or not. This is the basic test. That is why you find in the Quran, in the absolute beginning, هُدًى لِلْمُتَّقِينَ الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ. This is the first examination to which both of these have been put. They have to believe in Allah, although they can't see it. They have to believe in paradise and hell, although they can't see it. They have to believe in angels, although they can't see them. So all this unseen world, to believe in them, through their intellects, through their understanding, through their hearts, that is the first test. And let me quote here a saying of Confucius, a very big Chinese saint and sage, one of the biggest sages and saints of the human history. A very beautiful sentence of his is, there is nothing more real than what cannot be seen, and there is nothing more certain than what cannot be heard. The realities, real realities, they lie beyond our senses and our perceptions. So this is the first step towards philosophy, wisdom. And this is the first step towards guidance. يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. يَا مَعْشَرَ الْجِنِّ وَالْإِنسِ أَلَمْ يَأْتِكُمْ رُسُلٌ مِّنكُمْ يَقُصُّونَ عَلَيْكُمْ آيَاتِي وَيُنذِرُونَكُمْ لِقَاءَ يَوْمِكُمْ هَٰذَا قَالُوا شَهِدْنَا عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِنَا وَغَرَّتْهُمُ الْحَيَاةُ الدُّنْيَا. But they were engrossed, they were lost in this worldly life. The pleasures, comforts, amenities of this world, they deluded them. They keep them involved in them all the time, never having a time to think about the creation. Who created me? Who am I? Where from I have come? Where I am heading towards? What is the end? Is this the only life from birth till death? Or something beyond it? Zalika. Now what is this Zalika? Why these messengers had been sent? ذَلِكَ أَلَّمْ يَكُنْ رَبُّكَ مُهْلِكَ الْقُرَىٰ. This is because your Lord was not going to destroy the townships and cities that he destroyed. بِظُلْمٍ, wrongfully. وَأَهْلُهَا غَافِلُونَ, and the people, in a state when the people were not warned already, warned before. Allah destroyed the nations, but after warning. He sent the messengers. He sent Noah. And he kept on warning his people for more than 900 years. 950 years, as it is given in Surah Al-Ankabut. He kept on warning. But even then, if people didn't heed to him, pay any heed to him, but they were doomed. So they were warned. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not unjust that he would have destroyed them without warning. وَلِكُلٍّ دَرَجَاتٌ مِمَّا عَمِلُوا, and for everyone are the ranks. All of you are ranks. Based upon وَلِكُلٍّ دَرَجَاتٌ مِمَّا عَمِلُوا, your deeds, your actions. Not your amani, not your wishful thinking. لَيْسَ بِأَمَانِيِّكُمْ وَلَا أَمَانِيَّ أَهْلِ الْكِتَابِ. You have to prove your worth through your deeds and actions. وَمَا رَبُّكَ بِغَافِلٍ عَمَّا يَعْمَلُونَ, and your Lord is not unaware of what they are doing. وَرَبُّكَ الْغَنِيُّ ذُو الرَّحْمَةِ, and your Lord is self-sufficient. He doesn't need anything. He doesn't need your service. If you serve Him, if you obey Him, well, the benefit is for your own self. He doesn't need anything. He doesn't stand in need of anything. وَرَبُّكَ الْغَنِيُّ ذُو الرَّحْمَةِ, and He is the Lord of mercy. إِن يَشَأْ يُذْهِبْكُمْ, if He so likes, He can make you perish, all of you. O humans and jinns, He can make you perish. Do away with you. وَيَسْتَخْلِفْ مِنْ بَعْدِكُمْ, and then He can bring as successors for you مَا يَشَاءُ, whatever He will like. كَمَا أَنْشَاكُمْ مِنْ ذُرِّيَّةِ قَوْمٍ آخَرِينَ, as He has raised you from the progeny of a people, other people, who have perished, who had gone. The people of Hud, the nation of Ad, they actually were the remnants of the people of Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam. From there, they sprang into, and they flourished into a very big nation. In the same way, Thamud, they were a people, a nation, who started from remnants, a few mu'mineen believers, who were saved by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when the whole of the people of Hud, the nation of Ad, was destroyed. So, generation after generation, and nations after nation. But there is a possibility in this verse, in this ayah. People who believe that the theory of evolution is compatible with Quran, I don't want to go into this controversy, whether it is correct or wrong, but I want to point out, there have been people and there are people that think that the evolution theory, not the theory of Darwin. Evolution is something else. Darwinian theory of evolution is something else. But essentially, evolution is compatible with the teachings of the Quran. Here, this ayah can mean, كَمَا أَنْشَاكُمْ مِنْ ذُرِّيَّةِ قَوْمٍ آخَرِينَ, as He has created you, raised you from another species. A species of animals, from that springs another species. From that, another species. And so many species we know have perished. Where are those dinosaurs? Gone. Such big animals. Such giant animals. Gone. You find their skeletons. That means they were there. But they have gone. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has been producing species from other species, and then the former species, they just vanished. They were destroyed. So it can happen again, this ayah says. They can make you perish and bring another creation in your place. إِنَّمَا تُوعَدُونَ لَآتٍ وَمَا أَنْتُمْ بِمُعْجِزِينَ. Certainly what you are being promised is to come. It will come. Don't have any doubts. Don't harbor any doubts in your minds. It will come. وَمَا أَنْتُمْ بِمُعْجِزِينَ. And you won't be able to defeat Allah, to frustrate Allah, to escape from His grip. You won't be able to escape. قُلْ يَا قَوْمِ اعْمَلُوا عَلَى مَكَانَتِكُمْ إِنِّي عَامِلٌ. Now, this is a challenge from Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. I told you these surahs, Surah Anaam as well as Surah Araf, they were revealed just before Hijrah. You know, the conflict between Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and Sahaba Ikram on the one side and the pagans and the idolaters of Makkah on the other side, that had reached its zenith. So at this stage, the Prophet has been asked to throw an open challenge. قُلْ يَا قَوْمِ اعْمَلُوا عَلَىٰ مَكَانَتِكُمْ. Say to them, O Muhammad, O my nation, do whatever you can do. Strive the hardest that you can. Strive your utmost to stop me and my da'wah and my call. Inni amil. I'll also strive my best. سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ مَنْ تَكُونُ لَهُ عَاقِبَةُ الدَّارِ. Very soon you will come to know for whom will be the good end of the eternal abode. إِنَّهُ لَا يُفْلِحُ الظَّالِمُونَ. Certainly, the evildoers are not going to be successful. This is a challenging tone. اعْمَلُوا عَلَىٰ مَكَانَتِكُمْ إِنِّي عَامِلٌ وَجَعَلُوا لِلَّهِ مِمَّا زَرَعَ مِنَ الْحَرْثِ وَالْأَنْعَامِ نَصِيبًا. Now there are coming 3-4 things. These were their superstitions. They had a sharia of their own, concocted, forged. And they said that this has been given to us by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through our forefathers. Our forefathers have been doing it, so it is coming from Allah. But a few things regarding their own sharia. وَجَعَلُوا لِلَّهِ مِمَّا ذَرَى مِنَ الْحَرْثِ وَالْأَنْعَامِ نَصِيبًا. And they fix for Allah also a part of their charity from amongst the crop as well as the animals that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them. They believed in Allah, I told you. They were mushriks. They believed in Allah and along with Allah, smaller gods. جَعَلُوا لِلَّهِ مِمَّا ذَرَى مِنَ الْحَرْثِ وَالْأَنْعَامِ نَصِيبًا. So they had some part of the charity reserved for Allah. فَقَالُوا هَذَا لِلَّهِ بِزَعْمِهِمْ. And they said, according to their own belief, this is for Allah. This we keep for Allah. وَهَذَا لِشُرَكَائِنَا. And this is for our associate gods. We have to please them also. If they get angry from us, we will be doomed. Now the most, interesting thing is, فَمَا كَانَ لِشُرَكَائِهِمْ فَلَا يَصِلُ إِلَى اللَّهِ. What they reserve for their associate god, it cannot go towards Allah. It cannot join, it cannot be added to the portion that they have reserved for Allah. وَمَا كَانَ لِلَّهِ فَهُوَ يَصِلُ إِلَى شُرَكَائِهِمْ. What they had reserved for Allah, it is added to the portion of the associates. سَا مَا يَحْكُمُونَ. Very bad and evil what they are doing. Now what was the reason? Although they thought that Allah is bigger, highest, and these gods and goddesses which we are worshipping, they are smaller ones. But so fear the smaller ones more. Because if you take the case of a villager, for example, he knows that there is a head of the state also. But he has never to deal with him. He is dealing with the patwari. The lowest revenue officers or officials, he has to deal with them. They can remit their revenues and etc. and etc. So actually they have to fear them, not the head of the state. There is the head of the state, no doubt they know. But actually they fear more the lowest officials. In the same way, although they believed in Allah, but actually they wanted more to please these lower gods, smaller gods. So the portion reserved for their associate god couldn't go to the portion of Allah, but the portion fixed for Allah could be mixed with that. Second, وَكَذَلِكَ زَيَّنَ لِكَثِيرٍ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ قَتْلَ أَوْلَادِهِمْ شُرَكَاؤُهُمْ. In the same manner, some of their associate gods have made it very beautiful for them to kill their offsprings. They presented their offsprings also as a gift to their gods and goddesses. Just as they are giving some gift to their gods and goddesses from the crop, from the animals. In the same way, killing their offsprings, sons, to please some god or goddess. لَيُرْدُوهُمْ. These associate gods, they are killing their offspring for them so that they make them perish, destroy them. وَلَيَلْبِسُوا عَلَيْهِمْ دِينَهُمْ. And they have made them confused about their religion. What they are doing? وَلَوْ شَاءَ اللَّهُ مَا فَعَلُوهُ. And had Allah decreed, they couldn't have done so. But because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you the option, freedom of choice, you have been given this life as a testing period. فَذَرْهُمْ وَمَا يَفْتَرُونَ. So just ignore them. Just leave them alone and what they are forging. All these are forged ideas. There's no documentary proof that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given them these instructions.